Hello everybody, welcome back. My name's Mamiya, and today we're going to be checking out some of the awesome new action roguelike Moonlighter 2 that's just hit early access. Now, if you've never played Moonlighter 1 before, it's basically it's an action roguelike game with inventory management sort of aspects to it. You play the role of a shopkeeper who goes into dungeons and collects relics to sell in your shop, and it's got the traditional, you know, like you get power-ups and modifiers. Think of like god blessings in Hades 2, stuff like that. But yeah, that's the basic gist. Now, I'm gonna go through more of the basics, what you can see on screen and stuff like that, before we get into a run. So if you want to skip ahead to the run start, there will be chapters in this video, so feel free to do that. But with that being said, should we get on to the explainer? So, what you're seeing on screen at the moment, we're in the hub. This is basically the area where you get all your upgrades. You got your shops, and this is our shop where we sell our goods. In the top left, you got your health bar. We've got 90 health points at the moment. Below that is your ammo. You have a gun that obviously you can shoot enemies with. At the moment, we only have 5 shots available. Below that is it. This bar will change depending on the weapon that you have. So at the moment, because I have a giant greatsword, this, I'll show you it, this specific greatsword, the Vow, which has the property your attack does not consume sharpness, but 1.5% sharpness drains every second. So this bar in the top left that looks like a sword is my sharpness bar. Now we can increase that, I'll show you, by doing our alternate attack, which for me is triangle on a controller. And you see how the colour's changing. Sharpness just increases the amount of damage that your weapon does. It's the unique mechanic for the greatsword. Then below that we have our health potions. At the moment we have 3. Then if you take a look over to the top right of the screen, you can see our coins. At the moment I've got 4,870 coins. Then below that it shows you your mission, and below that it shows you the calendar day and what events happen on certain days, who's gonna ask for like missions or certain items or stuff like that. Right, before we get into a run, I want to show you my shop. This is where the magic happens. Now your shop will look a little bit different to mine. I've already put in some extra stuff. Like, you'll start off with 4 of these white pedestals. I've upgraded this pedestal so it interacts with uncommon items, so we get more value out of them. This decoration here guarantees we get a rare relic in our first relic chest. And then everything else is just decoration. This robot here is a bank, has unlocks as well. Do you know what? Do we want to upgrade stuff now? You know what? I'll leave that. You can add decorations, like I can change the flooring, I can change the carpet. Let's have a purple carpet. Yeah, purple carpet. Change the walls. We can change our bed and cash machine and put antiques. I've not gotten far enough into the game. I don't believe these actually do anything. They just look good. But yeah, this is where you sell your items. You put them on this pedestal. This is your backpack on the left here, where all your relics are stored from a run. And then you choose the price, and people will come in and buy your items and hand over your money to spend on upgrades at other vendors. So that's just the basics of the game. Now, I have been playing a little bit, and I thought that it might be fun for me to record my first win against the first boss. Now, I don't want to jinx myself. We may not necessarily do it, but in my last run that I didn't record, I came incredibly close to beating the boss. So yeah, let's try and do that. And with all that being said, let's just get into a run, and I'll there'll be some more explaining to do when we actually like start picking up relics and stuff, because they have different abilities and different effects. We are in the Day Realm, which is the first zone that you unlock. Now, this is the map screen. Essentially, it is your traditional roguelike map screen. So these icons represent different things. The chests represent a chest that you get at the end for completing a floor, and the colour denotes what rarity of relic you could get from the chest. So blue is rare relics. Let's see. So can't move over to the right, but you see the little flame icon and the moon icon. Fire is burn, would you believe? I know, crazy. That gives you a burn perk to your character. It's like a god blessing in Hades or Sworn, or, you know, it modifies your character's attacks in some way, essentially. Below that is foam. Now, foam is a different... It's similar to burn in that all of the buffs like apply to your character and increase your damage in some way. But I think, let's see, where do we want to go? So we've got... Is it the same amount of nodes no matter what direction we go in? I think it is. And I kind of like getting the same perks. So I see that there's a route that has 3 fire on. It does mean that we're going to miss a rare and an elite. But honestly, I think that's fine. Let's head up and then down and try and hit as many of the fire icons as we can. And here we go. We have the enemies. We got a little roll, L2s to roll. It's kind of like Zelda in the respect that, oh, there's an enemy in the air. We can shoot them down and stagger them. But yeah, rolling is actually faster than running, so you're going to see me do a lot of rolling. And basically, when enemies go in the air, if you shoot them, like you saw there, they'll fall on the ground and become vulnerable. As in, they'll be on their back and won't move for a certain amount of time until they stop being purple. We got another wave of enemies, we do. Okay, so another thing that I'll probably... You saw it just then with the big guy that came out with the hammer. They had a little purple marker on the health bar. Essentially what that means is when you get them down to that health, they'll become vulnerable, they'll stagger, which is the exact same thing that happens if you shoot an enemy out the sky. And it tends to only be like big enemies that have that little purple marker on the health. So this is our first treasure chest. All of these are relics. The colour denotes the rarity. So grey is common, green is uncommon, and we get a choice of a rare relic, which is blue. Now, some relics don't have interesting things that they do. Like this firewood here does nothing. But if it has a little symbol in the top right, you see that little like bullseye symbol? That means that it has an ability when you place this relic. So in the Sunclaw's case, it burns the pointed relic. Now burns destroys the relic, and pointed just means anything that little arrow, you see the down arrow, is pointing at, will be destroyed. And that only triggers once, but there's synergies for burning different things. And this chosen necklace here burns 2 relics to the left of it and below it. The next thing that's pretty important is the quality. So you see the little number with stars next to it. That basically means that it's going to be worth more money when you sell it, and you change that number throughout the run. You want to get as high quality as you possibly can. As I say, there's different ways to modify this number, get it to go higher or lower. And if you die in a run, all of the quality of your items is halved, I believe. It just adds a percentage modifier to the price customers are willing to pay for the item. Let's see what our rare item is first. Or rare relic. We got the Song of Welcome. That has a corner ability. That means it triggers when the relic is placed in a corner slot, and it casts armor on relics in the same row and adds 4 value to them. Armor protects a relic from burn. So this is an incredibly strong relic because it allows you to do your burning synergies multiple times, because you can burn an item and it's not destroyed. So I do like the Song of Welcome. We've also got Father's Trophy. This has left-right, which means it is triggered when it's put on the far left or the far right of your backpack, and it gains 4 quality for each armored relic in the backpack. So we don't have any armored relics at the moment. Let's come off here. We don't have anything that applies armor. So we could get something here that applies armor, because at the moment this does nothing. It just sells for 800. Another thing that I forgot to say, oh, we have a reroll. I didn't realize we had a reroll. I've never used a reroll before. Oh, silly me. Anyway, yeah, you see where it says sold for and there's a face? Well, that means that I've previously had this item and sold it for 800, but it's towards the higher margin of what customers are willing to pay for this item, so it's like a unhappy face. You might see other faces on items that denote, like, it basically tells you what price range you can sell the item at. So the Song of Welcome is worth less, but I think at the moment it's probably better to pick this up just because it generates us more value, giving armor to stuff and adding 4 value to them, or whatever you want to call it. So let's pick that up, and then we don't want to put it in a corner because that activates it. We want to wait until we get stuff that wants armor being applied to it or wants to be burned, because if something wants to be burned and we apply armor to it, we can basically get the trigger for free from it without destroying the item. And more often than not, burn items or items with the that want to be burned are quite high value. Let's pick up the Sunclaw, and one of the things that you'll notice is because we've put it in the bottom of the bag, it's not triggered. We can also put it up here, and you see the red slot. That indicates if we put anything in the red slot, it's going to burn that relic. But if we put it in the bottom of our bag, there's no slots underneath, so nothing's going to get burnt. And that goes the same for the Chosen necklace. If we put it over in this corner, where the burn slots aren't visible, nothing gets burnt. So we can save their burning effects for when we pick up items or relics that actually like want to be burned or trigger off burning. Let's go and get our first power up. Just destroy these slimes. Ooh, that was a nasty shot there. We got a big boy coming with a hammer. And another one flying in. Knock him down. We got him. Bring that one down and then smack him. Beautiful. Nice and simple room there. Oh yes, those guys are flying. That's fantastic for us. Means we don't really need to worry about them. But that hammer guy we do need to worry about. I want to shoot you out the sky. We'll roll away. These little nobules, I don't really know what to call them. I guess they're like bulbs on the ground, will fire out projectiles that home in on enemies, and you can get synergies with them. They're called thorns. I don't know if we'll see this in our first offering. Oh, wow, we get a legendary straight away. Holy moly. I don't know if it's even worth looking at the others, but we will do anyway. Flame Rush. After defeating an enemy, deal 20% extra damage for 5 seconds. Blazing Attack. Your attack deals 40% damage and inflicts Ignite. Ignite is an effect that makes enemies receive 5 damage every 0.5 seconds and lasts 10 seconds. So what's that? 10 damage every second. That's 100 damage in total. I think our attacks, were they doing like 50 damage? This is going to be really good on bosses, especially if we can keep those stacks going. Then in the heat of the battle, any damage you deal is increased by 10%. No, we want Blazing Attack. Give me that 40% damage on our attack. And we'll head to the next area. I do want to go down and get more flame, I think. We will be missing out on an elite and a rare relic, but I think if we just keep heading down, we'll be able to buff ourselves crazy. We're basically getting the choice of the chance of getting more relics and rarer relics versus the chance of being stronger fighting the boss. So a reason why you'd want to avoid getting rarer relics and beat the boss is because if you die, the value of your, well, not the value, you know, the little star icon on all of your relics, that is halved. So all of your items will be worth less. So what we really want to do is beat the boss so we can keep the full value of our items. Even though we may not have as good items to sell. Just basically it's making you think, are we going for an econ run? Or are we going for like a completion run? And obviously if you can do both because you've upgraded your character enough and feel comfortable enough doing that, then fantastic. But at the moment, since I've only done a handful of runs in this game, I don't feel confident enough not to be powered up going against the boss. We have a grey item here called Star Sign Summoner that casts armor on the pointed relics. Now, we saw before, armor protects an item from burn. So, we want to see what we got here. We get Mother's Call. When this is put in the corner, it adds 4 value. Well, not value. I can't remember what the game actually calls this. It's basically... it just gives you a percentage bonus to the money you earn, the higher the number is. So I guess it, in a roundabout way, it is value. We'll just keep calling it value for now anyway. Adds 4 value to rare relics in the backpack. How many do we have? We have 1 at the moment, but we could potentially get more rare relics. And then we get Moon Fruit here. If you put it in the corner, it burns relics in the same column, and you gain 6 value for each burned relic. So at the moment, because we only have two rows in our backpack, this can only burn 1 relic, so maximum it can get is 6 extra value. I think we'll take the Mother's Call, hoping to get a rare relic in the future. We'll be on the lookout for that one. And let's move these guys around a bit. I want to put armor on... Let's see. That adds 4 value. Okay. Only to rare relics, so it doesn't matter about itself. Let's add armor to the Song of Welcome. So as you can see, it's got a little like shiny animation that indicates that it's armored now. And then we can just pick up the rest of the relics. The grey ones, you kind of want to get rid of them, to be honest. They're pretty worthless. Let's go get some foam. Ignite doing absolute work. Oh. Feel like I've only been hit by ranged attacks in this run at the moment. We want to keep our sharpness as high as possible, so we're dealing the maximum amount of damage. Get away from that guy while he does his little bonk. Oh, we staggered him because of the ignite, and he's dead. Let's keep going. We can get some free damage from bonking the bulb, firing thorns off. Really like thorns to apply ignite. That'd be kind of sick. See what foam we get. Thornfall, defeating an enemy casts spikes. Spikes is a projectile that is auto-aimed towards enemies and deals 20 damage upon impact. We can do pop shots. Your gun deals 45% damage and inflicts foam. Foam is a debuff that after 3 seconds, it explodes and the enemy received 50 damage. Yeah, I think we take that. Pretty good. Granted, we're not using our gun all that much, but it's still nice to have. Just having a sip of coffee, right? Let's get going. Oh, there's no enemies in this room. Okay. Shared Flame. While 3 or more enemies are ignited, deal plus 25% damage. Okay. That's quite nice. Scorching Special. Your special deals plus 15% damage and inflicts ignite. And in the heat of battle, any damage you deal is increased by 10%. Let's get ignite on our special. Sure. Now we've got it on our attack, which is swinging the sword, and our special, which is stabbing with the sword. So we're going to be applying Ignite a lot. Now if we can get lucky and get that, the blessing there that made us deal damage based on the number of ignited enemies, that would be great. It would be super synergistic with what we've got going on, since everything we pretty much do inflicts Ignite. Let's get that guy down. Green sharpness again. Is this the last guy? Watch out, he charges. Oh, the Ignite got him mid-charge. Sorry, buddy. Today was not your day. Here we go. Shared Flame. While 3 or more enemies are ignited, deal plus 30% damage. Was this a higher... I think this is higher rarity than what we were offered before. Because I swear it was plus 25% damage in the last offering. Yeah, maybe. Razor Spikes. Spikes have 10% chance to become Super Spikes. It doesn't really tell you what Super Spikes are, and I'm not sure myself. I'm gonna guess they deal 40 damage rather than 20 damage, but I could be wrong. An Unblemished Warrior while at 90% health or higher. Your special deals plus 30% damage. I don't really like taking this because I'm not exactly known for not taking damage. Let's take Shared Flame here. Let's get the 30% damage bonus when 3 or more enemies are ignited, which should happen pretty frequently. Although our Ignite does take enemies out pretty fast. But with all of our moves doing Ignite, we can just hop around the map and burn them all. Ignite lasting 10 seconds is fantastic. There's the Thorns taking them out. Ooh. We don't want to be shot by that guy, so let him get his business off, and then we can go down and finish off the other guy. Okay. Do you mind? Come down from here. Just pop him. Let's get going. What have we got going on? We've got more armor. Okay. That is interesting. Let's see if we can get something. Ah, here we go. Eclipse Flower. So we've seen Moon Fruit before. Don't really want to pick that up at the moment. Eclipse Flower. An uncommon relic that when it's burned, it adds 2 to all relics in the backpack. Yeah, I like that one. Let's get it armored up. Then do we burn it straight away? I guess why not? Give everything some value. Then we can pick this thing up. We only have 1 rare relic, so this Mother's Call, we're sitting on it really at the moment. There's nothing we really want to burn right now. So I'm still gonna sit on that Song of Welcome to get that armor. And we have, do you know what? Actually, was there an extra burn in there? No, there wasn't. Okay. We want more burns. Okay, it is elite time. Or mini boss, rather. Hello, hello. Hammerman. Let's get out the way of that. we're just going to apply burning to everything to get our damage going. Oh, okay, he turned. I was not expecting him to turn there. I like to take out the ads first. It does mean that we won't be getting that 30% damage buff, but honestly, I think that's fine. Because we can whomp him. Get out of the way of the explosion. Get some hits off. And he's doing it again. Let's get back in there. Swing, and we should have him here. Let the ignite finish him off. See you later. We get 2 chests for beating this guy. Do we get rares? Nice, we do. Star Sign Charm. Each time you cast armor on this relic, it gains 6 value. Or Father's Trophy. If you put it in the left or right slots, it gains 4 value for each armored relic in the backpack. Okay, so we're starting to see armored synergy. Do we want to burn anything? Sorry about that, guys. Someone knocked at the door, so cutting the video there. I've totally lost track of where I was. So let's see. We should probably burn some stuff, I think. What's the cheapest crap? That wood is the cheapest. So let's burn that. We do want to start... Do you know what? Let's see what's in the other chest. Burned, add 6. Oh, here we go. We want the Unborn Seed. This thing's crazy. When you put it in a corner, it burns all common relics and gains 4 value for each burned relic. Let's load ourselves up with common relics here. Do we have anything that triggers on stuff being burnt? No, we don't. So, let's burn it all. Boom. And we go up to 40 extra value on that. Incredible. We'll just put everything back in the backpack. That's a little bit of a trick and a tip there, that you can fill up the chests with relics and then put them back in to do something like burn all common relics there. Now, think, what's our most expensive stuff? 300. Do we just want to get this burnt? Because I want to get armor. This is worth more at the moment. What if we do a bit of a switcheroo? That's sold for 150, 300. And you can give armor to all of these. I think that's a good idea. There we go. I wonder what happens if we do this. First of all, We got 3 rare relics, so we can add 4 to them with that. But also, we can make this get 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 extra value. Oh. That to let me dog out there. Can't go through a video without wanting to leave the room. Let's see. If we wanna burn, then we should do the Father's Trophy first. Which means we need to put it there. There we go. It's got 25 value now. Then we swap the places of these two. And pop that down there. And trigger the burn on them both. Yeah, nice. Alright, we got a nice clean backpack now. That was a lot of stuff going on. Do we miss out on squares if we try and go for that fire? Oh wow, look at all those elite chests, well, rare chests. Yeah, I don't think we can take the bottom path here. We just miss out on too much. Actually, it's the same. So, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one's there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, no, we get an extra if we go up here. Yeah, we want that extra zone. All right, this is weapon upgrades here. Sharpness refills 2 times faster. With Sharpened Will, Gunner's Edge at minimum sharpness, deal 2 times gun damage and your attack restores ammo. Or Sharp Edge, your attack finisher deals 50% damage and does not decrease sharpness. I think we'll go for Sharpened Will here. We like having high sharpness, and the quicker we can make it all the way up to full sharpness, the better. Let's see. Nothing extra down here. And by the way, guys, if you're doing this at home, there is a secret area down there, but I've already done it, so there's a portal if you've not done it before. You can get some unlocks. Let's go for the question mark. Who we getting? All legendaries. Explosive goodbye. For the next 3 encounters, defeated enemies drop a grenade. Afterwards, increase 30% crit damage. We don't have crit rate, so I don't know about that. Weak blow. For the next 3 encounters, your attack damage is halved. Afterwards, increase 30% your attack damage. I do like that. Special pain. For the next 3 rooms, take 10 damage each time you use your special. Afterwards, increases your special damage by 20%. I think we got to go for weak blow here. 3 rooms. How many rooms do we have? We got quite a few rooms before the boss. Okay. Do we want rare and elite, or do we want to go for this? I think let's get some relics. Let's get some money going. I think I want to get rid of the ranged guys first, because they're gonna cause me the most issues, especially since some of them are, well, one of them there was an elite. You know my feelings on area denial, and yeah, they're nothing but area denial. If you've ever seen my Sworn videos, you know how much I go off on enemies that stop you from moving where you want to move. Oh, almost got us. Get the thorns in on there. Always rolling around. Okay, that looks like that was the room. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Room 1 out of 3 completed. What's our rare relic here? Broken Promise. We've sold that for 700 before, and it has the ability back to Tresna, and that triggers when we go, basically when we finish a run or we die. Tresna is your home. It's where all the merchants are and your shop is. It's basically the between run area, the little hub, if you will. And I do kind of like that. We've got a lot of armored relics, so this could potentially be huge. Star Sign Charm is another rare relic. Each time you cast armor on this particular relic, it gains 6 value. I think we're probably better off served taking Broken Promise here. With the amount of armored items we have. And then we'll just pick up these 3. Sunclaw burns whatever's below it, so we know we have a burn trigger if we need it. Let's get foamy. Hoping for something good here. I'm not familiar enough with the game to know all of the options you can get from the skill rewards yet. So, I don't know. We have stuff on our attack and our special. Oh, Ignite got that guy from the air. Oh, we had a couple of slimes going nuts there. Flying at us. Watch out. Is this guy with his slime launcher. Get out of here. Oh, that's a lot of guys. We want to play it safe for sure. Take out the slime launcher. Oh, we just pulled even more guys. Wonderful. We don't need to worry about picking up stuff on the ground, because when you take out all the enemies in an area, everything's automatically picked up, like materials. Right, we took out that big hammer guy. What have we got left? Is it just ranged enemies? Oh, I see another hammer dude. Some more grenade lobbers. Just hide from that guy's shot. It can, it deals a lot of damage if it hits you. Let him do his hammer blast. Knock that dude out the sky while we deal with the hammer guy. Oh, and we got him. Oh, you're going up in the air again. Okay. That is certainly is a choice. Not sure if I'd have done it myself if I was you. After literally just being shot out the sky by us. Here we go. We get our foam ability. Double deal. Combat perk pedestals have a 40% chance to spawn in pairs. I mean, that's really hard for me to say no to. I am incredibly greedy when it comes to stuff like this, and it has been known to be quite detrimental to me, but, you know, the greed calls. Let's see what else is here. Double thorns, cast 2 times spikes, but their damage is reduced by 35%. Premature pop, foam explodes 1 second earlier. We only have foam on our gun, so I don't know how relevant that is. The game's telling me to take double deal, and we're about to go into more combat perks. Ooh. Missing out on 3 rares, but we get 2 combat perks and an epic. I think I'm going for the combat perk since we just picked that one up. And also, epics are generally amazing and worth a lot of money. Take out the ranger, watch out for these guys. Oh, that was an insanely quick shot. You gotta watch out. That guy's gonna shoot his shot. Apply some burn there. Ignite you. Foam you. Watch out for the whirlwind. Get some thorns going. Shoot you. Round 2. These guys charge at you. Ooh, so you want to be wary. We had a slime from space. Get rid of the slime launcher. Oh, charger. I was not looking at you. Maybe I should have. If you can make them charge into objects, then they go into that stunned state. You see when they go purple? It just makes them vulnerable. I'm not sure you actually deal any more damage. You might do. There we go. That was our 3rd room, so now we just deal 30% extra damage with our attacks. So that's a huge buff to us. Ooh. Big pop, foam afflicted enemies take plus 10 damage. Double pop, foam explosions have a 10% chance to occur twice. Just as a reminder, foam, after 3 seconds, an enemy with foam receives 50 damage. The foam explodes. So this is basically like adding 5 extra damage onto our foams. I don't know if it's worth it, but I've never seen a duo blessing before, and this is a duo blessing, I think. It's foam and ignite. Foam blaze. Foam explosions remove ignite and increase foam damage by 200%. Does that mean they do 200 damage? 200% of 50 is 2... No, is 150. I don't know, I'm not that good at maths, folks. It's either 150 or 200. I'm going to side with 150, but 150 damage is a lot. So, if we can pop that on bosses, we're going to be in for a good time. I just need to remember to use my gun, not just to shoot enemies out the sky. It's got to be part of our combo. So next time we see a strong enemy, we'll pop a foam on him. Here we go. Oh, it hit the wrong guy. Of course it did. Did it work? I can't tell. Let's see how much damage this does. 150. Okay, it worked that time. Beautiful. So I did go with the right maths calculation there, and 150. Whew. Almost looks silly. Alright, we get an epic. Reaper's Torch reactivates the curse of the pointed relic and burns it. That is interesting. Portal eggs, ongoing. Relics that burn others gain 8 value after applying their effect. We have an interesting choice here. I'm thinking about picking up the Reaper's Torch. If we can reactivate the Song of Welcome, it's armored at the moment. So it's protected from being burnt, but it'll give everything else armor in the row. So if we just do a little bit of moving and shaking, maybe if we burn this dude first, get out of here, we can pop you there. What do we want armored? We'll armor this. I think that's our most valuable stuff. I think this is more valuable than the sand fruit. Yeah, let's get the Reaper's Torch. And we're going to stick it here. Let's make... Oh. Interesting. Alright, I'm going to move this around then. I thought it'd immediately activate the Song of Welcome because it's in a corner. But it doesn't look like it is. So, should we just pick it up and put it back down again? Yeah. Almost everything is armored now. I would like to armor up the flute again. Then what? They're all worth 20. Okay. We don't have any more backpack space, so I think we've got stuff that's worth the most, yeah. That was a huge thing to pick up. We should potentially get tons of value from all these armored items. We're getting more burn. I really want to take out the bloody slime man. Make sure we're out of range of the sniper. And we'll knock the hammer bro out of the sky and take him down. Knock you down. Ignite took him down. Do you know what? Let's just thorns it. Roll away. It's way faster to roll everywhere, I've found, by the way, guys, rather than running. And there's like no stamina bar or anything, so pop you for 150 damage there. Love it. Let's get foamed. And that's all of the enemies. Sweet. Oh, and we get double rewards. It paid off. Fire Thorn, Spike Steel plus 10% damage and inflict ignite. Flame Rush. After defeating an enemy, deal 20% damage for 5 seconds. Or just in the heat of battle, any damage you deal is increased by 25%. I think that includes foam. So 25% on top of 150. That's an extra... Oh, shit. 150. 20% of 150 is 30. It's like 37.5, is it? Maybe. Extra damage, so we should be dealing 187.5. damage. Yeah, we got to take that. Go on, give us something good. Extremely flammable. Ignited enemies take plus 10% damage. Or flash fire. Ignite deals 100% damage but lasts for a shorter duration. I do like that a lot. Unblemished warrior. While at 90% health or higher, your special deals 30% extra damage. Nah, we're never going to be at 90% health or higher. Let's get flash fire. We are popping our ignites. So that basically means if we don't land a gunshot on an enemy to pop our ignite, then the ignite's just basically going to melt it. You either get one giant hit or lots of medium hits from ignite. And it's boss time. Are you ready, folks? I'm going to tell you what I've learned while we get into this fight. So, this guy's going to do AoEs. You want to roll to avoid that. Then he fires out a purple thing and a laser beam. You want to hit it with your backpack. That's R2. Or RT if you're using an Xbox controller. I'm not entirely sure what it is just on PC. But you need to do that 3 times. Knock the purple projectile into the barrier to get... Oh. Shit, I'm rolling the wrong way there. Watch. To break that barrier. Get shot off on him. Roll out the way. Okay. He laser beams. That destroys one of these barriers. These barriers protect you from his big old laser beam that he'll start doing. He spawns enemies at every third of his health. We'll shoot you. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so I just noticed we got 150 damage tick there from our foam explosion. The damage boost that we got from oh shit, from the extra the combat relic or combat blessing didn't apply. Also, what I found the easiest way to avoid those shockwaves is run backwards. You see how the laser beam was blocked by this here? Yeah, the shockwaves on the ground, you want to be as far away as possible and then roll towards them. That's the easiest way I've found to avoid them anyway. This can get a little bit tricky, yeah. We're just going to have to wait for the next purple projectile to come out. And then we can hide behind this. Okay, one more purple projectile and his barrier's down. I was a bit late rolling there. Okay. Should get our last purple projectile. We do indeed. Let's keep smacking away. And he's down to the last third of his health. That means he gets rid of the final barrier, so we're just going to have to dodge roll to avoid laser beams when they happen. Foams on that guy. Right, just ranged enemies to deal with now. Fire is absolutely melting these dudes. Holy crap. I think this is the strongest run that I've ever actually had, which is kind of nuts. We just roll through the laser beam. You want to roll towards it. That's the best way I've found avoiding that. Oh! Little bit difficult when he does a few shockwaves at the same time. Okay, one more purple projectile to knock at the barrier, and we should have him. Hey, you got us. We're rolling. Here comes the laser beam and the projectile, the purple. There we go. We should have him here. Let's get a shot off. Get him exploding, and boom. First time I beat that boss. Damn. I've never actually seen what happens here, so let's see. What do we get? The Sound of Hubris. When Lance arrived in Kalina, he won the hearts of the Talix by promising them two things they were forbidden, weapons and music. The Herald earned his name by embodying both. He paved the way towards the Eternal Party. We get some good relics here. I don't know what I want. Each time this relic gains value, it gains double. Or each time you burn, this relic adds 4 to the pointed relic. I wish I had both of these. Do you know what? Let's have a look, see what we can get in the other chest. It's a purple. Each time, the hunger knife, each time you burn the pointed relic, this relic gains 8 value and changes direction. Mother's ring, the next time you burn, this relic gains its value. Oh, that is interesting. Do we have any other shields? We got one more armor. We got a couple of burns. I think we take Mother's Patience here. Stick that in there. And then I want to take Mother's Ring. Oh, that only counts the next time. So this only triggers once. We can get the Hunger Knife to trigger multiple times. So let's get the Hunger Knife. And I'm going to stick it there so we can burn that. And okay, we want armor. We're gonna leave the armor for last, and let's use this to burn some stuff. We'll burn these commons. Burn you there. Awesome. Okay. Now, what other burns do we have? We got a burning that goes up. Okay, that's fantastic. That means that's getting 4 every time we burn. Okay. Do we have anything that wants to be burned? No, I don't think so. Okay. So we can just burn this. Alright. Let's add some value here. We definitely want to armor this thing up. But then we can burn them. Ooh. I do kind of want to get that more value. Maybe it's worth putting the value onto the epic, actually. Ooh, yeah. I think that might yield a greater return for us. Although we may have to do some switching. You go down there, and then now you can burn both of these. Beautiful. Ah, bugger. Each time you burn the pointed relic. Oh, you know what? That was my mistake. I totally forgot what it did. Almost instantly. Great. We did a good job there, but it's fine. Okay. Let's pop you over there. You... Where's the thing? You, when put in a corner, adds 4 value to all rare relics. Have we got all of our rare relics in our backpack? We do indeed. So, we can just move them around. Awesome. We have all of our armored relics in our backpack. I think this is the most value we can get. Yeah, we're going to be in the money. Holy moly. Let's head back to town. This is by far the best I've ever done, by the way, guys. By far. Do we just go back to town, or do we go into another area? I have no idea. We go back to town. Alright, well, I'm going to show you the second half of this game now. But that is the end of the run. So, if action's all you guys wanted to see, then feel free to close here. But there is another part to this game where we sell everything we just got in the dungeon. So let's have a look. So this pedestal specifically wants uncommon items. We know... You see everything on the right, the smiley faces, determines the value customers are happy to spend on the item. So 170 here is the maximum I've found for people to buy this at. And as you can see, because it's got 18 quality, we get plus 90% value on it. And because it's on this specific pedestal, we get an additional 20% value as it's an uncommon. So rather than 170, we're getting 357 money for it. Absolutely. Now, I've never sold one of these before. Well, let's put it on there for 2,500. We could go crazy. I think epics are usually worth around that much. And then stick this down. Do you know what? Oh my god, we get plus 280% quality on that, alright? We'll stick it down for 800. That should make people happy. We can get extra selling perks if we make customers happy. Let's open up this shop. Time to get absolutely loaded. We're going to be rich. You see the bar at the right of the screen? That indicates how many customers have been happy with the selling price, and when each segment counts as one customer. So when we get 2 customers that are happy, there, you see it go up there, we can get a perk from the shop, right? This is way too expensive, so let's reduce it. Let's stick this in. Customers are happy to pay 700 for it, so we will. That's too expensive. We'll pump you down. I've never had epics before to sell, so I don't actually know what the rough price range is. Okay, you appear to be very happy with that. That makes me a little bit nervous about the other epic. Here we go, we've got a perk. Trend cycle. Epic relics increase their value by 120%, but uncommon relics decrease theirs by 40%. Oh man. I think we only have one epic. Yeah, I think that's worth picking up. And we don't let them buy it. Oh wait, 1,500's too much for that. Okay. Let's bump it down to 1,200. And we've sold this for 600 before, so let's sell it for 600 again. And this one we've sold for 800. We don't need any more happy customers. We're here to rinse people of their money. Are all we're just doing typical capitalism things, you know. Making sure no one has any money. While we hoard all of the wealth for ourselves. Oh, do you know what? I wanna keep the uncommon to get 20% more. Man, this is the most money I've ever had by a mile. Before this, the most money I ever had was 10k. Oh, crazy. They don't like it at 600. Alright, we'll lower the price. Don't you worry, buddy. $300 they thought was a bargain. Or they were happy with, so let's go halfway and try do it for 350. No, what? What is the price range they're happy with then? 330 maybe? We obviously way overshot with that last one. Oh, here we go. There we go. Reluctant, but still willing to buy it. Last item before we close up shop for the day. Thank you. Alright, we made 18,000 coins. Wow. God damn. What a bloody run. If I do say so myself. Gets us ever closer, by the way. This is like meta progression, dude. After you earn a certain amount of money, you get unlocks. Like, the last unlock that I got from this guy was an upgrade to the potion seller. It expanded her tree for purchasable stuff, so we could get more potions and more max health. But, yeah. That, guys, is Moonlighter 2 early access, and just want to say thank you all for tuning in. If you liked what you see, then don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, you know, all the usual jazz. And we will spend our money at the start of next video, so stick around for that. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will catch you in the next video. Ta-ta for now.